It's not getting better. It's actually continuing to get worse. Wonder why the cost to ship a container has gone up 500%. Imagine literally traveling across the ocean and then you can't get off the boat because of COVID protocols. Even when you're vaccinated, by the way. What the crux of all of this is, you want to look at these fundamental breakdowns in the supply chain. It's the labor shortage. This one coming out, the workers who keep global supply chains moving are warning of a system collapse. You read this article, and this article is terrifying. It talks all about the maritime shipping industry. A letter sent from the International Chamber of Shipping and other industry groups warning of literally a global transport system collapse if governments do not restore freedom of movement to transport workers and give them priority to receive vaccines. There's actually a lot more to this. So you have all these workers, after weeks on board a ship, seafarers can only leave a vessel in order to travel elsewhere, usually to return home. And basically, all the folks on these ships, because all these governments that they're delivering goods to on these ships have different COVID rules, that means that some of these workers have not been able to get off of a boat for months. If they can get off a boat, they're super restricted. So, imagine literally traveling across the ocean and then you can't get off the boat because of COVID protocols. Even when you're vaccinated, by the way. Some of the people in this article have been vaccinated over 5 times just because, every government had different rules on what you need to show if you've been vaccinated, this and that, and all just the chaos. And they just say, sure, just, give me another vaccine so I can get into the port, right? And go have a shower and some clean sheets or something, right? To ask too much. So it's basically talking about the insanely harsh living and working conditions for the people in the maritime industry. And, then you go to wonder why the cost to ship a container has gone up 500%. It's literally 5x what it used to be roughly a year ago. And so this is one example of, really just government rules creating harsh conditions and, putting the workers at a disadvantage or, saying, you know what, I don't want to do this work anymore. I'll go join the gig economy, or I'll just go find something else to do rather than subject myself to this lifestyle and be away from my family and then, not make materially any more money. And that's where there's got to be a rub, right? That's just the people on the ships getting the stuff from point A to point B, right? Kind of over the oceans. Then you've got the other part of this shipping fiasco chronicled here. In this Business Insider article, this is the one where they have the stat about a 500% increase. Every one of these stats is bad. And every month it's getting worse. It's not getting better. So this is monthly data, right? So this is looking at, July to August, August to September. And so it's saying, over the past week, the queue of ships waiting to unload at the ports in LA and Long Beach have lengthened by 10 ships. On Friday, the ports had 65 cargo ships, right? So 10 ships. The material increase, that's like roughly around 20% increase. LA and those ports account for 40% of the maritime shipping volumes that come into the entire United States, right? Makes sense from the Asian routes. Average wait time for vessels is about 8.7 days, up about 2.5 days longer from the same time a month ago. These are material increases, right? That's maybe a third of an increase from a month before, right? So it's not getting better month over month. It's actually continuing to get worse. So you've got horrible conditions for the people on the ships. Then you've got issues with the actual labor to get the stuff off the ship. So some of these articles will blame the fact that, the boats have gotten bigger. Article here, which I thought had a good graphic. Let me just show you this graphic. Percent increase in average containers per ship from the first half of 2019 to the first half of 2021. So this is showing that you can't get the ships in and out. Now everyone's loading up the ships. You've got a 73% increase, right, in that 2-year time period in the average containers per ship, right? But the interesting thing in this article is all they do is talk about more containers on the ship. All they do is talk about it's easier to put stuff on a boat than it is to take it off. But this article, for example, all the way at the bottom, do they say, oh, labor. Labor is also cheaper and less protected in countries like China, which makes it easier for ports to hire more workers and switch to 24-hour operations whenever they have a backlog. Oh, yeah, labor. Like, how is that the end of the article, right? That's really what the crux of all of this is. You want to look at these fundamental breakdowns in the supply chain. It's the labor shortage, not that there's more containers on the cargo ship, right? We have fundamental issues with labor, and we have competing forces like the gig economy on one end of the spectrum. On the other side of the spectrum, you have government ineptitude, either in some cases willingly, in some other cases unwilling, unintentional, and some cases probably intentional. This other article, officials also explained there is a lack of trucks, and the freight rail isn't allowing a steady movement of cargo out of the ports fast enough. Freight rails at capacity, right? That's railroads. Only so much stuff, only so many trains you can run. That thing is tapped out. Where are the trucks? This was exactly the topic I was talking about last episode about the gig economy, about the trucking shortage that we've had for years in this country, how it's only gotten further exacerbated. And I think a great example by Adam M., our viewer and commenter on our gig economy video, giving a great example about just kind of saying, enough was enough. And I'm actually making the same amount of money and working a third less time by just being on the gig economy. And I get to work from home and all these other kinds of perks. That's the kind of stuff that's happening. Hi, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, but even better, make sure to follow us on Odyssey, follow us on Rumble, and text us 203-646-5159. Text the word Monopoly. You'll be subscribed. You'll get updates about when we're going live, our latest videos, and we'll send you even a little goodie bag. And in the event that we all get banned from big tech, we'll still be connected.